Introducing the king of YouTube, Lord Paramount of the gamers, the Catboys, and the Redditors, King Deejington Cobblesworth the Fourth. Yes, thank you. What the fuck? Where's everyone? Where is, who? My subjects. My loyal subjects waiting to hear my declaration of the game of the year. You don't have any loyal subjects. Well, I mean, you have a few subscribers, but not enough for anyone to care what your game of the year is. I mean, come on. I have 2,000 subscribers. Do you? Okay, I have like 1,800, but that's pretty much 2,000. Okay, even if you did have 2,000, which I must remind you, you don't, that doesn't lend you any credibility. There are e-thoughts on Instagram that have 10,000 followers because they're above average looking and know how to use Photoshop. No one cares what your game of the year is. Oh man. I was just positive I'd be making fat YouTube money stacks by this point. Have you considered using red circles in your thumbnails? Well, no, it's a bit late for that. I'll be sure to include a lot on this video though. Yes, I'm sure that will give you the credibility that you so desperately need. Tell you what, you pay me the $20 you promised me in the Home Depot parking lot, and I'll go ahead and leave. How about you stick around and listen to my top 5 games of the year for an extra $10? Well, that does sound like absolute torture, but sure. I've done worse things for $10. Just rattle them off. Yeah, no, I don't do that. You want fast and fun content that holds your attention? Well, you came to the wrong place. I take my time, okay? Yeah, I'm beginning to see why you only have 1,800 subscribers.
Well, that sounded fantastic. And now, the Game of the Year award goes to The Last of Us Part 2.
You suck! Yep, some people truly hate this game. I've had people in my own Discord server wonder why this game was winning Game of the Year awards left, right, and center when it was obviously awful. Go watch my Death Stranding video. It's one of my least viewed, but I firmly believe it to be one of my best. To summarize it very quickly, the review bomb can be a good thing if it helps prevent people from getting ripped off. But in the case of Death Stranding and The Last of Us Part 2, it was used to twist the narrative. The Last of Us Part 2 was financially successful, reviewed insanely well, and in my opinion, almost perfectly executed what it set out to do. A vocal minority is living in a fantasy world where this game was just complete garbage from top to bottom. Why do you people suddenly demand the greatest story ever told? The Last of Us Part 1 was just fucking fine. Why is everyone suddenly an expert on character arcs? The Last of Us Part 2 has a fine story with stellar presentation and thrilling gameplay. It's a story not about revenge bad, it's a story about how revenge is easy when you don't understand the other's perspective. That's not exactly the deepest thing in the world, but it was pretty well done and resonated with me emotionally. I have 2 major issues with The Last of Us Part 2 that I haven't discussed. One of which is its dismal portrayal of PTSD, and the other, which I think really drags this game down, is its ridiculous length. It is far too long, and the game looks like it's going to end twice before it actually does. Is that daring and bold? Yes. Is that stupid? Also yes. Alright. Inclusivity. I've given up hope for this comment section, so this needs to be addressed. Inclusivity is not a bonus. It does not make a story better, but it also does not make it worse. Whatever the vision of the creator is fucking fine. In The Last of Us Part 2, you got a trans, you got 2 lesbians, and you got Abby, who's fucking yoked as hell. I'm honestly jealous of how vascular she is. I guess she, unlike me, has no problem not ordering a pizza once a week. I guess it's easy to avoid carbs in the post-apocalypse. Lucky. But let's cast aside her vascularity for a moment. I know, it's obviously the most important part of her character, but we gotta move on. She was hateful, and terrible, and angry. I mean...
She's pregnant. Good. Abby.
I did not like her. I just didn't want to watch her die. This is a story that I got wrapped up in and can remember every detail of. It deals with a lot of heavy themes, and it's really not subtle. The fact that I constantly see people reduce this game to revenge bad shows just how these people seemingly didn't really engage with the story at all. Perspective, dehumanization, forgiveness, guilt, obsession. The Last of Us Part 2 deals with a lot of themes, and you really don't need to be smart in order to see it. This is not David Lynch's Rabbits. Overall, broad strokes, this is not a hard story to understand, so why is everyone seemingly misunderstanding it? The only conclusion I can reach is they simply don't want to. Saying The Last of Us Part 2 is just revenge bad is like saying Psycho is just mommy issues. I think The Last of Us Part 2's story falls flat when it tries to redeem Abby, but succeeds when it comes to making her human. It succeeds at making the idea of hitting a hole in one into her frontal lobe far less enticing. At least it did for me. I think this story's reach exceeded its grasp, but it's also not just a story. It's also a diverse representation of LGBTQ plus BINGO, powerful women, and non-binary people of color. Hashtag woke, hashtag girl power, hashtag thanks Neil Druckmann. Oh wait, shit, there's a whole ass game attached to this story, huh? I like it. It's fast and tense, and while crafting and stealth are super overexposed mechanics nowadays, they were done quite well here. The ability to lose enemies easily made stealth much more dynamic and interesting. You don't have to like this game, but I really did. Wow, really took your time with that one, huh? Yeah, I guess I feel some need to defend it. I don't want people calling me a cobbler cuck in the comments section. Yeah, they're gonna do that anyway. That game was bullshit. Oh, I didn't know you played it. Oh no, I didn't play it. I watched like 10 video essays on it. It sucks. Are you sure you're not subscribed to me? Because I get that comment a lot. So I sort of have this issue. My social anxiety results in me assuming that others will make assumptions, so I will preemptively clarify that their assumption that they probably never had is simply not correct. That sounds confusing. Allow me to clarify. Shit! I'm doing it again. I had a dog growing up named Peanut Butter. So when telling people, once I'd grown into a teenager, what her name was, I would immediately clarify, oh, but I don't, put peanut butter on my genitals and have her lick them off? What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you not assume that I did? Now I do! I don't know, I was a teenager, so I just assumed that everyone else had a horrible edgelord brain that immediately jumped to horrible edgelord conclusions. And I understand that I'm now in Shane Dawson, I did not fuck my cat territory, but I never did that. She was precious. Here's a photo of her in a small sombrero. You're welcome. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is Hades is not the token indie game in my top 5. I haven't talked about it at length, it was never the subject of one of my videos, but it's a truly fantastic game. I love nothing more than a great story in a game, and roguelikes, through their whole permadeath thing, often are light on story. It's just the nature of the entire oversaturated genre, but Hades uses permadeath and procedural generation to tell a fantastic story. A story of perseverance, of struggling against impossible odds and people's dismal opinions of your ability. If there is anything I understand as someone that pours way too much time into making YouTube videos, it's slamming your head into a wall over and over and thinking, every time, yeah, this time, I'm gonna break through. If this is one of those games that sounded interesting to you, but you brushed it off because you wanted to play Assassin's Creed, whatever the fuck it was called, instead, then I really recommend you pick it up. It's truly outstanding and opened my eyes to what roguelikes, or roguelites, I guess, are capable of from a storytelling perspective. The combat is just but it's a Supergiant game, so, you know, the art direction and writing kick the living shit out of nearly every other game that came out this year.
I'm beginning to see a pattern, Zagreus.
Black Mesa is... Oh, fuck you. What? Black Mesa has been out for years. It's been in early access for years. It technically did not release until this year. Google it. It's a remake of a game from 1990 goddamn 8. Who won the Golden Joystick Game of the Year award last year? Resident Evil 2. Wow, you sound a little agitated about that. Why? Because it's a remake. Control, Outer Worlds, Sekiro, they were perfectly good games that deserved Game of the Year in 2019, so why did it go to a goddamn retread? So how is this justified if you don't think Resident Evil 2 winning last year was justified? Oh no, it's not justified. Black Mesa is just absolutely fantastic. I'm a hypocrite, and I didn't make YouTube videos back then, so none of my viewers know how bullshit I thought that award was. Wow. Seriously? Yeah, I'm a huge HalfLife fanboy. And Black Mesa is one of the best games of the past few years, which is somehow underappreciated. It is absolutely not underappreciated. It got jerked off by every game journalist from here to... Wait. You're a huge HalfLife fanboy? Yes? You son of a... What is HalfLife Alyx? A triumphant return? An elevation of gaming as a whole? It's an elevation of VR, at least. A showcase for what AAA money can do on the platform and a refinement of the VR shooter. It's also a showcase of the fact that despite much of the talent at Valve leaving this past decade, they still know how to craft an unforgettable game. Because goddamn, I have not forgotten this game. It is the VR title that I always return to. Valve are still masters of their craft, and I'm glad to see that they are once again actually making things. They actually added developer commentary to HalfLife Alyx in an update just last month, which I love. I wish other developers did stuff like this. Although, I have a sneaking suspicion it would not be as inspiring as Valve's commentary. The thermodynamically accurate horse testicles were a difficult feature to implement. As all Red Dead Redemption 2 players know, the horse's testicles will actually shrink in cold weather. This is obviously vital to the player experience. First, we started by taking a few stallions out to the Nevada desert and measured... What happened to my life? I just wanted to make games. HalfLife Alyx is an outstanding game, But you either already know that, or you don't give a shit. Either you own a headset and have played it because what the fuck else are you gonna play? Or you don't own a headset and just don't care. Time will tell the impact of HalfLife Alyx, but to remove VR's dubious future and look at the game on its own merits shows a stellar experience that I truly adore. I adore it because I'm a Valve fanboy, and I love that they're returning to an industry that sorely needs them. It's an enrapturing and spellbinding adventure that gave me everything I wanted and more. And somehow, even more impressively, it completely justified the price of this ridiculous headset. Yeah, I'm serious. Although I'm also terrible with money, so take from that what you will. 2 Half-Life games in a row. Unbelievable. Shut up. But now, what's my game of the year? I'm all out of Valve dick to suck, so who could it be? Oh, well, I simply don't know. It's hard to tell. Is it Spiritfarer? No, I did like Spiritfarer, but it stopped working. It just won't launch, which I find incredibly frustrating. Like, I did all the PC gamer shit, you know? I reinstalled my drivers, reinstalled the game, shouted racial slurs at children, but still no luck. I fucking emailed the developers on November 5th. No reply. Balls in your court, Thunder Lotus, you pieces of shit. So what else could my game of the year be? Listen, guy, I don't watch your videos, but you talked about Doom Eternal during the entire carriage ride over here, okay? So just quit your bullshit. Well, maybe it was Animal Crossing. You know, wait, what was it called? The New Frontier? Dude, just say it's Doom Eternal so I can leave. Maybe it's Cyberpunk 2077. Wait, really? Maybe.
You are nothing but a usurper, a false idol. My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see, Slayer.
You know I love Doom Eternal. While I've only made one video exclusively about the game, I name drop it in just about every video. Why? Well, that's sort of multifaceted, but really I think it all comes down to I have grown resentful over the years of AAA bloat. Of games filled with content that doesn't actually improve the overall experience. Thermodynamically accurate horse testicles. A million ways to kill an enemy that's not even difficult to kill in the first place. The ability to be stealthy or aggressive when neither method just feels, you know, fun. I hate that. I hate that in an attempt to appeal to as broad an audience as possible, the developer forgot to just make the game fun. I see in most AAA games a severe lack of focus. Why should I buy this game? Oh, an open world with lots of activities. You can play tennis in Grand Theft Auto 5. Why? How does that make the game better? How does golf make the game better? I feel that you can cut minimum 20% off of most AAA games and the game would be better for it. More is not always better. Extra content gets in the way of what the player actually is there to experience. And not to mention, implementing that content takes time and resources away from the developers that should be polishing and adding depth to the mechanics that are already there. I don't want hours of content. I want a finely crafted experience dripping with personality and vision. I don't want a simulation. I want a game. I want a game designed around something. I want there to be focus and restraint in that game's design, because a game that knows what it is will always beat a box of toys that serve as nothing more than distractions. What is this game supposed to make me feel? How do the mechanics impart that feeling to me? Doom Eternal is not high art, and I understand how silly this sounds, but it was absolutely crafted by true artists. Those that had a vision, talent, and the drive and confidence to execute on that vision. Doom Eternal is an elevation of the first-person shooter that I feel will not leave nearly as much of an impact on the industry as it should, because a game like Doom Eternal requires a willingness to cut the chaff and a desire to say, this is what my game is about. Doom Eternal is not for everyone, and that's what makes it so goddamn special. The way I see it, a game that has a little something for everyone has nothing for me, because I don't want a little something. I want a game that knows exactly what it is. You know, thanks for sticking around. I know you didn't want to, but I think it's fair to say that you've grown to respect. Did you know there are no good public domain Christmas songs? Seriously, Holly Jolly Christmas, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Lady Gaga's magnum opus, Christmas Tree, all still copyrighted. Here's as much as I can show of Christmas Tree without UMG putting ads on my video. Delightful. Anyway, this is self-indulgent even by my standards, so I'll be quick. About 11 months ago, I posted a video that now has 38 views, 4 likes, and 0 comments. It's not good, and only has that many views because my friends and family are so supportive. I've had 2 videos this year break 10,000 views. That means so much to me, and I cannot let this year end without thanking you for your constant support. I say thanks for watching at the end of all of my videos, but I didn't want to let this year end without really saying it. So, thanks for watching. It means the world to me.